Good afternoon, my name is Dana Salcedo and I will give some insights on the video logic, the structure of reason with ideas of philosophy. Well, in the first place, logic has the purpose of knowing the fixed laws that govern the animate and inanimate nature. The sensitivity is the faculty of intuition and understanding the faculty of thinking. The organon, the word of Aristotle, conveys a set of analytical statements whose pillar is syllogism and deduction. Understood that general concepts are formed by the study of singular specimens, that is, you get an argument where the conclusion is a necessary consequence of the premises. Hence, a statement is demonstrative when it is true and is derived from the conditions primitively set, and it is dialectical when, in the form of syllogism, it admits the apparent and the probable. Induction didn't offer Aristotle any firm method to determine its validity, so Aristotle claimed that induction is not demonstrative and regulate it to a secondary state. Induction doesn't prove, but the essential nature of a thing is that it has or doesn't have some attribute. Yet it understood the importance of experience, of observation in knowledge, and the imperative of the part from the singular to the general. The fundamental principles of Aristotelian logic are the law of non-contradiction and the law of the excluded medium. The law of non-contradiction states that no proposition can be both true and false, and the law of the excluded medium says that a proposition must be true or false. Kant then describes Aristotelian logic as the foundation of all other sciences and the preparatorical of all intellectual function. Modern logic is usually called mathematical logic, which is elucidated about the validity of the invalid and solid arguments of fallacies. In this sense, philosophical logic provides the rigor and clarity of mathematics. 20 years after the death of Aristotle, the Stoics were concerned with determining whether the truth or falsehood of a prayer is followed by that of a set of prayers. They affirm that the soul is a table on which nothing is written, and their conceptions or ideas, far from vague innate, bring their origin of sensation and owe their begin to the very action of understanding. Predicate logic is a more powerful tool with additional inference rules that can accommodate variables and express equivalence but with propositions. Bacon in the 17th century promoted empiricism and pragmatism, gives us a method for questioning the world that involves starting by going out into the world by collecting data and organizing them into tables. The investigation of forms which are in reason alias of according to his law, eternal and immutable, will constitute metaphysics. The investigation of the efficient cause of matter, of latent process, and of the occult constitution, things which are related to the ordinary and common course of nature, and not to its fundamental and eternal laws. The above in opposition to the fundamentalist interpretation of the Greek world that advocated a contemplative attitude of truth in the 19th century. Philosophers began to actually apply the structures of mathematics to logic. This mathematical term makes the beginning of that we will recognize today as modern logic. Gottfried applied logicism to arithmetic and set theory, providing our foundation for quantification. However, I refer that meaning is an approximation to the object itself. The legality of the British George Boole is based on a mathematical theory that simplifies the statements that had for answer yes or no, using for it binary arithmetic. Also, the contribution of the German Husserl lies in the phenomenology that is a subjective ideal discurrent between the philosophy produced by the study and description of the phenomena of consciousness or in other words, of things as they are manifested and shown in this. On the other hand, within the Turing machine is an invention that attempts simply to formalize the idea of a computer. Actually, is the idea of the mechanical procedure that will end in a result. Other major contributions are those of the Polish logician Alfred Tarski, the founder of semantic logic. His greatest major contribution is generally considered his work on semantic theory or true, and in the early 1920s, David Hewlett formulated a proposal to formalize mathematical in axiomatic form. Finally, I will allude to the Vienna Circle, whose positivist thinkers proposed to distinguish the sciences of metaphysics and any other knowledge based on an epistemological criterion of cognitive significance. As explained by logic, it has gained transcendence in the ontology, epistemology, and meaning of language. That has permitted a correspondence between proposition and facts to formulate concepts, judgments, and reasonings and understand their validity. Thank you very much for your attention.